are far worse things waiting man than death.
You will be scared shitless.
Good evening. This is S. Michael, and with me, as always, is
Erin Dawn.
Slinky Giallo.
And we are the Scared Shitless Podcast. And this is season 2, episode 21. And we're going to do a movie that I've never seen before, and I can't believe I haven't seen this. Just from the word of mouth alone, this was one that I'm ashamed that I didn't catch. But thanks to Mr. Giallo himself, I have now watched the very entertaining and scary We Are Still Here from 2015. Slinky, why did you choose this movie?
Oh boy, where to begin? Well, I am a fan of the YouTube channel called Good Bad Flicks, and it's a gentleman who he talks about bad movies, good movies, all types of movies. And in 2016, I saw his episode on We Are Still Here, and I saw his episode and I like gleefully jumped into this movie because 2015 was pretty barren for horror movies. So when this came out, I just really enjoyed it because it has a lot of my loves. It has Italian haunted house cinema. It has Lovecraft. It has just tastefully done gore, if that's a way to put it. It's supernatural, slow burn. There's so much to like about this movie. So as soon as I watched it, I loved it. Then I found it at the dollar store, so I purchased it. And then when I met my love, I love this movie so much. I was like, have you ever seen We Are Still Here? And she's like, no. So I bought it and gave it to her. So like, I really enjoyed this movie a lot. But I saw it in 2016, right around the time it came out. And then I even wrote a little thing on Twitter back in the day about how good it was. I was like, We Are Still Here. I tagged Ted Geoghan and the director, and I said, this movie just comes in and puts its nuts on the table and says, look at them. And he enjoyed the tweet where he shared it on Twitter. And so that was cool. Yeah. So it has Barbara Crampton, and I love the thing that she has with Lovecraft. Like, she's in all these Lovecraftian horror movies, and sure enough, she shows up in this one too. Solid acting. So there's so much to like about it. But here I'm just
No, that was good. No, I like that.
solid. Like, when there was no good horror movies, this one popped up, man. So
I like that. I've only seen this movie 3 times. This was the third watch for me. And it's just a really great trying to say how to put this. I love films as glimpsed with my love for Don't Look Now. I love movies that deal with the complex feelings of grief using horror themes, using a horror film as a way to deal with unresolved grief. I really love that. Obviously, I love Barbara Crampton. I don't care what she does. I love it. I watch anything that she's in because she's super fabulous. Everybody in this movie is really, really good. It's a very understated, slow burn,
For
interesting.
a hot minute, yeah.
Yeah, and it's also an homage to these different genres, specifically Italian haunted house horror. So like House by the Cemetery, The Beyond, those types of films. Fulci's really funny because Fulci does movies like House by the Cemetery and Gates of Hell. He does these very like sort of haunted housey type demon movies, right? But then he'll turn around and do like this like absolutely over the top sleaze fest like Devil's Honey or New York Ripper. So I enjoy that. Yeah. So I did like all of the little nods to his things. I loved it. There was a lot of Don't Look Now in it. So of course I loved it. And I thought that the CGI that they did use did not take away from the horror watching experience, as it sometimes has been known to do. So, but no, I really enjoyed it. But yeah, it was only a third time for me. So, but yes, I remember when Slink gave it to me on one of our was it the first date?
it might have.
Yeah, the first date.
Handful of DVDs.
Yeah, he gave me DVDs, and I gave him a Madman poster from the movie Madman. And so that was that's how we knew, right? Um
They're a
but
keeper. Yeah.
exactly. So I would love to know your thoughts about this, like when you saw this, like all your stuff, man.
So don't judge a book by its cover, right? But I checked out the trailer and I was like, yeah, this is going to be good because they did an actually good trailer, which is rare after like 1989 for me. Like they oftentimes will, uh, I don't know, titillate with just the goofiest stuff in trailers to get the youngsters, interested, little TNA, little, humor. Oftentimes we'll use like the best parts of the movie in the trailer. So you
Yep.
figure out the whole plot and you've pretty much seen the movie just from watching the trailer. But no, this trailer was excellent. And drew me right in. So yeah, I was thrilled to jump in with both feet. And so at first I was like, well, shit, this is a slow burn. Not a huge fan of most slow burn movies, but I love a good ghost story. And the techniques that they were using, the camera techniques, the long shots, like taking their time looking at a
Yeah.
scene,
Just the still shots of the living room. Like her
Yes.
and I were talking today, and she's like, it looks so warm and inviting. And then we were both like, but it looks off.
Yes.
Like it's very uncomfortable. It's like very changeling with the ball, but just the mood of the movie is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Little
love the
tricks.
changeling. Yeah, that's a
Yes.
great one. And
Little tricks that they used here and there, like just using the camera over Barbara Crampton's head during one scene from behind the stairwell, and the camera is slightly moving from left to right. It's unusual, and it gives you a sense that she's being watched, and that whoever's watching her may or may not have good intentions. So it's just very effective and almost old school, but with modern technology. I just really enjoyed like the style of the filmmaking. And then, of course, yes, Barbara Crampton. I don't think any cis hetero male from the 80s didn't fall in love with her with Reanimator and From Beyond. She's a legend. Even her later stuff, and she takes a lot of gigs. But even
yeah,
some of her
like
later stuff, her acting skill is there. She never phones it in. And she still looks great. I think she's like 7 or 60 now.
yeah,
Still looks fantastic. So, yeah, it was great to see her again. And then I recognized a couple of the character actors, Fessenden, the old guy who plays the local, know-it-all.
Dave
I've seen
McCabe.
him in a
Dave
bunch of
McCabe, or
movies.
yeah,
Yeah.
tell what's the story?
So Dave McCabe, this is fun. Or the guy who plays Dave McCabe, the neighbor and exposition fairy in the film. He is the voice of biography, of A&E biography. So anytime you watch the A&E biography documentaries that they used to play all the time, he was the guy in the back. He was that voice. He was the, it was like, and blah, blah, blah,
And
blah,
he's
blah,
still
blah.
alive. He's 90.
Yeah, I love it so much. Um, I am not sure if this is where they got the name from, but it is mentioned in the film Sorority Babes and the Slimeball Bowl-orama. Dave McCabe is the person who made the deal with the imp to become a champion bowler. And hence you got to let the imp, you got to trap the imp into the bowling trophy. And anyone who's seen Sorority Babes in the Slimeball Bowl-orama knows what the fuck I'm talking about. But yeah, that's this. But the name popped up and I went, that can't be a fucking coincidence.
And Barbara Crampton, they go around, I guess they live around the same area, and they go around and do horror trivia together. So just on that information alone, I am sure that is a direct reference to that fucking movie. Absolutely. So yeah,
Easter eggs
there,
all over the place in this
yeah, this
movie.
movie,
Yeah.
like, dude, if you're a fan of any type of fucking genre of horror movie, man, there's something in this movie for you to like. Like, that's the thing. It's so simple and basic, but it checks every box off. Like, it's just like an old school movie. I love the Lovecraft stuff. I don't know. I guess jump in. We'll hit the ground running. We are still here. It starts where it just shows a lot of frozen, just you can feel the cold in these scenes. It's like isolated farm, country, but it has we talked about that. It's the combination of the wind, you hear the wind and what you're seeing, and so you feel really chilly. It's 88 degrees outside here, but when we watched it today, we were like, burn.
Yeah, third movie in a
So,
row, by the way, that we've reviewed that starts off in the bleak snow. It's like
mhm.
very
And
effective. And then with a grief theme.
so yeah. See, and that's another reason I love it. You see a couple. You see Barbara Crampton, and I cannot remember the gentleman's name. They're driving to the house.
Paul.
Paul and Anne. Paul and Anne.
See, I'm gonna blow this. But I love that scene. It's a great scene. It really you kind of feel Crampton's loneliness. Like you're not sure what's going on, but you're like, wow, either they had a massive fight or something happened, and then then you start catching on. Oh shit, they lost their son. And you really feel the cold. Like, and that sounds cliche, but like it's very true. So,
And also, I mean, the atmosphere is just an important part of the film in general. Just the scenery of it is very bleak and very stark. And the house itself, Slink made a really good comment, which is that it looks inviting, but there's something off about it. There's something very uncomfortable about the house. Now, granted, this is also takes place in the 70s, so we got a lot of shitty furniture and a lot of questionable decoration choices and a whole lot of wood paneling. But the film itself, the house itself, and the windows, and the way everything is designed is very, haunted. It's just very haunted house, like very much like House by the Cemetery.
and I'm gonna date us all when I say this, but the thing about it when the movie, like we have it on right now in the background, and it's when Dave and his old lady get to the house. The furniture and everything, we all grew up with this furniture, like this type of furniture, this brown sepia, like these weird pictures of a mill on the print on the couch, like in the couch is like brown and yellow. Remember we were talking about that? My grandparents loved blue and green, so their house was covered in blue and green stuff. But it has this look that we all grew up with. Like if we didn't have it in our house, we knew somebody who did. So like it's really cool to see this. You're like, I know what that couch feels like to sit on. It's real stiff and hard.
Yeah, it's very decorative.
Yeah.
But the furniture doesn't look particularly comfortable, right? It seems like everything is very for show. I think my favorite set piece is absolutely the basement, because the basement reminds me of the cellar in
Cellar.
Evil Dead.
It's more of a cellar than a basement, yeah.
Right. Like it reminds me 100% of the cellar in Evil Dead. 100, like with the stairs and the wall and all of it just reminds me of that.
You have to expect Henrietta to come walking in. Where's
absolutely. Yeah. And the performances are really, really good. Like Barbara Crampton is an amazing actress. Like she can play goofy, she can play sexy, she can play dominatrix, she can play and at this point she can play a grieving mom, and she's very, very good with her performance with this. And the husband is understated. We kind of had brought this up while we were watching it, was that because the film takes place in the 70s, it is a very like, don't talk about your feelings, and we're dealing with the death of our kid in two totally different ways.
Well, there's a funny scene where, because she's dealing with the death of their son, and so she has these two friends who are obviously they're mystics, they're into the occult, and which is funny. The lady May is Tim Burton's ex-old lady.
Lisa Marie.
Yeah.
We got to talk about her for a second. So
yeah,
I absolutely love Lisa Marie. As most horror or Burton fans know, she was like a porn actress, and then she was in Ed Wood, and she was in
Mars Attacks.
And she's just such an interesting
look. She's Ichabod Crane's mom in Sleepy Hollow too.
Yes, and lady who gets in this Iron live, Maiden. Beautiful, interesting looking live, sort of very graceful way that she moves. She's a dancer,
she's like a ballerina when she moves. Yeah. So I've seen this movie 15 times, and I didn't realize that was her till today. It's pretty funny. But so Barbara, Anne and her husband Barbara's more into the occult than her husband, obviously. But there's a moment in the movie where he literally looks at Barbara Crampton and he's like, I told you, never in the house. And it's really funny. Like, it's very funny. But the movie has a very 70s feel when it comes to like the Wiccan thing, people being into the supernatural, because in the early 70s, even Romero did a witch movie.
Yeah.
So it was very, in pop culture, it was, in the forefront.
People were just looking for something,
Just
spirituality.
like the occult was cool. It was like the thing to be into. But it's cool because then you bring in the guys, the Ted Geoghan, his love for Italian stuff, and it's like then we start getting into the Gates of Hell and the Dagmar. Just the name alone is there. It's named after Lysandra Dagmar. Like, it's so cool. You have to know about giallos and Italian horror movies for that type of stuff. So like the guy, he really did it well. I don't know. I'm babbling.
There's also a mention of a university nearby. I don't know if you
I was gonna get to that. It's cool when they do the Lovecraft angle, because when Dave shows up and gets knee deep in devils, as he says, which is a cool line, he tells him, the history of their house. He's like, oh, well, back in 1859 when the house was built, da 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 da, and that's when they drop a big fat load of Lovecraft on you, and it's like, up in Providence, the university, da 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 da. Then it's Dave keeps saying this real vague thing about the house needs a family. That's just spoil the fuck out of it, I guess. It's the house needs a family. The house needs to eat a bunch of souls, and like that's awesome haunted house stuff. Then there's like it's possession stuff in there, and Larry Fessenden, who's in every horror movie the past 15 years. Which he's funny though. He's a funny guy. I've seen him in interviews and stuff. He loves what he does, man. I love his character.
Apparently this role was written just for him.
Just for him?
Yeah.
Okay. And then then I don't even know where I'm going with this. Let's see, we get to the seance scene, and the reason Larry's character is funny to me is because he tries to do a seance, but he fucks it up somehow, and then shit just goes Evil Dead real quick, and it's really cool. Like, there's so much in this movie to love. It's got every flavor, man. So
yeah, he has this great line where he's like, she told me not to do the seance, so yeah, we're gonna do it anyway.
We're gonna do the seance. Yes, we're gonna do the seance. Yeah, he's one of those guys that anytime he shows up, I'm like, oh, awesome, Larry's here. That's good, because he always makes the most of his part without scenery chewing. Like, he's just good. He's a good comedic actor. And the comedy elements of the film don't take away from the horror elements of the film.
No, not at all.
It's very, very subtle, and I do love Lisa Marie. I loved her in Ed Wood. I think she's, greatly understated as an actress. And hey, I'm gonna throw it out there, but Tim Burton did her dirty. Just gonna throw that out there. Absolutely,
Tim Burton does a lot of stuff dirty.
I mean, let's but she's just cool, man. She's a really cool actress and stuff. She's in Breastmen. She's in a lot of stuff, and in this, she's pretty cool. Like, this film, especially the seance stuff, like just the whole, like, I'm friends with a medium or whatever. That kind of stuff reminds me so much of Gates of Hell. Like, literally reminds me of like the opening of Gates of Hell. And so it has this definite love for Italian cinema in it. And I dig it, man. I really, really dig it. And I like the and then we get the couple that is basically the roommate of the son who died and his girlfriend, and I guess his girlfriend was in
You're Next.
Yeah.
Beginning of You're Next. Larry Fessend's in the beginning of that movie, and again he plays a quirky character. He's a professor and that's his student, and they're doing something they shouldn't be doing, and it's just very funny. It's like same crew,
Yeah.
And Session 9, I forgot he was also in.
Yeah, he's in Session 9.
Yeah, one of our favorites.
Shows up in the car, shows up in, it's great, man. He's just great. So, yeah, this is just one of those cool films, and it is one of those films, however, and I will caution the audience that you have to it is a slow burn. And if you don't like slow burn movies, get fucked. But like you have to really like seriously you have
Well,
to,
okay, I agree, and I would agree with that warning for people who don't like slow burns, which
'cause it
I'm
is.
one of them though. And the reason
Yep.
I still like this movie is that there are punctuation marks
Right.
throughout the movie of non-slow burn shit. You know, there is a moment where everything changes, and it's like, oh, this isn't just a slow burn. There's some like epic shit going on here.
Dark
For
shit.
instance,
Yeah.
the young people,
Yeah.
the kids when they show up.
When they show up, then it's like,
And
oh, it's
that just
on.
escalates real quick. So it's no longer a slow burn at that point.
Everyone is drinking. Like everyone drinks
I noticed that
sometimes.
whiskey. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was something about the alcohol too, Slink. Was like a reference to something, wasn't there?
Yeah, J&B. Lot of BJs going around the house there. It's their homage to J&B. And what I'd like to say is that one thing I like that the movie does is when they get to the house, Barbara Crampton's having these like, interactions with what she thinks is the son. So you're thinking the son is there with them, and it's not. That's one thing I love that the movie does is it leads you this direction, and then all of a sudden Dagmires are there, and you're like, oh shit, it's not what's going on. And so that's well done. That's really well done. Yeah. So
Yeah, that's
And
one of
then
my favorite horror haunting tropes is when there's a ghost of some sort, and then it turns out that the ghost is actually not what people think it is. It's much
right.
worse, and it's like, ooh,
It's not a good
ooh,
ghost. It's a bad ghost. Like in
or a
Witchboard.
demon, yeah, it's
Right.
just
Yeah. Like in Witchboard, where Tawny Kitane's playing with the Ouija board and she thinks she's talking to this little boy, and she's not. She's talking to a demon.
yeah,
And
well,
so
Captain
like
Howdy, right? That's
Captain
a classic
Howdy,
example.
right? So yeah, there's so many little there's just so many little touches. It's a love letter to horror.
yeah. And the idea that, the one guy in the good bad flicks thing, I guess they in haunted house movies they always do the cold thing when spirits are around. So in this one they went the opposite way, and it's always hot when you feel the Dagmars are around. And it's cool because the one son's in the cellar and he says that. He's like, it's hot as balls down here. And I like how you don't have to be on the property for the ghost to get you. Like
Yeah, that was a
when
nice
she's
touch.
like, you think she's got away. You're like, okay, cool. And then boo. So it's awesome, man. I love the sizzle that you hear when they touch a human being. It's nice touch. It's really cool. You see the smoke. It's super. I love the image of the Dagmars, like how they the makeup they used on them, like their effects, their white ashy eyes. It's really cool, man. Really cool.
And then the electrician is an homage to the Beyond, is to
Yes.
Joe the plumber in the Beyond, who he really jarred something loose there, Tiger. He releases this thing, and in this one, this is the Joe the electrician. So, but no, man, it's just one of those really good slow burn horror films, and it pays off. And because some slow burns don't pay off, that's the thing. I think from watching found footage movies, for instance, with Slink, with my love, we watch a lot of found footage, and I would say I don't want to say like 9 times out of 10 because it's not that much of a ratio. It's probably like 5 times out of 10. 5 times out of 10, I will watch it and watch it and watch it, and I'll be like, if this fucking thing doesn't pick up in the next 5 minutes.
Now we have a rule. We found footage has 21 minutes to do something. Was it 21 minutes? No. I think it's 21 25. Yeah, we have a new rule because found footage is like what? But the thing that's really cool about this movie is it's slow burn, takes a little bit, but and everybody says about movies, they're like, oh my god, when it starts happening, man, it's totally worth it. Blah, 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 blah. This movie, I feel, is definitely that's true for this movie because when shit starts popping, like the end scene where the lynch mob shows up at the house, holy crap, man, shit just goes off the walls. So yeah, it's definitely worth your time, but yeah, definitely worth the warning.
And essentially, the whole idea behind it is that the house needs a family. The house needs souls, basically. So it doesn't necessarily need a family. It just needs people so it can consume so that it doesn't consume the town. And the last time they tried to do this, it actually ended up consuming most of the town because it wasn't safe, satiated. Nope, not the word. Okay, sated. Yeah. So appeased. Yeah. So this time, the townspeople, led by our leader of biography, Dave McCabe, like he's basically like, it ain't gonna happen again. It's time. So the house needs a family. So it's gonna, and
He's
what's
the head of the HOA.
and then right, yes, he's essentially the head of the demon HOA. But one of the scenes I really enjoy is the bar scene, because the bar scene is modeled
Yes.
after American
Thank
Werewolf
you
in
for
London.
bringing that up. I love that scene.
Yes. So it's very, beware the Moors, right? It's very the town is clearly in on something, and a lot of that American Werewolf in London, also Gates of Hell. There are bar scenes in Gates of Hell where they go into the
one
bar
of my
and people
favorite
were
tropes is somebody showing up from who's an outsider, and the town is in on something. We don't know what it is yet, but
right.
they're looking, they stop talking, they start looking at the stranger weird. Even Friday the 13th, it's like when Annie walks into the diner, she's getting side eyes and what do you want to go to the camp for? It's like just a great trope, and I was happy to see it again here.
But yeah, they're dropping glasses and
Yeah.
it's
I really like the barmaid too. Like she had kind of a leadership type role for a while.
Yeah, well, I guess her and Dave are kind of the head of the HOA, and there's a great scene where shit's already going south of the house, blah blah blah, and the restaurant's closed, and somebody knocks at the door, so the barmaid sends the teenage girl over to answer the door. He thinks it's one of the people that are living in the house, so he literally shoots her to death through the door with a shotgun. It's amazing because that's when you realize Dave is not playing around, and he's like, we're not losing the town, man. Da, 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 da. Their grass needs to be a quarter of an inch tall. So that's a great scene to me. It's a great scene because that's when you realize, okay, all right, yeah, the town's gonna make sure it goes down.
And what's interesting is that it is not the rule of the house consuming the souls has nothing to do with who does the killing. So like it's not like the demon has to kill in order to be fed. It's like no, bodies have to be killed. So they have to be killed either in the car or in the property, whatever it is. It's like those souls get absorbed into the house, and so that's when, yes, that is exactly when our lynch mob shows up and just starts like, pump shotgunning, people at close range.
Yeah, there's some cool deaths, man. There's like an homage to Nightmare on Elm Street with the stairs.
Yes, the marshmallow stairs.
Yeah, mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
Stairs.
That's what they use. Yeah.
And the barmaid, she gets taken out in such an awesome way, man. That shot of like those three knives in her.
Yes, right in the jugular.
Yeah, and like she slides down this white tarp, and it's just it's awesome. It's really awesome. But yeah, it's to me that scene's interesting because you literally see the house consume people, where like the dining room table literally eats that fat guy. It's really cool. And then you see the Dagmars go to town, man, and like they're just shredding people on the steps. The dad's choking somebody in the corner, and like they're flying. It's insane.
Their
man.
makeup is incredible too. I heard on one of the behind the scenes that it took like 2 hours to apply.
Yes.
And then they did little CGI touch ups on it. It was just incredible. Very scary, very scary makeup.
Well, it looks like real burns. That's the thing. I have third-degree burns on my chest, so like I can look at burns real quick and be like,
no, this wasn't like Pizza Freddy makeup. No, this was the real deal.
These were burned. Yeah, these were charred, man. So, but it's just excellent. It's excellent. It's really well done. And a really cool thing I like is to give all the exposition they need to. You just sit and watch the credits because they do like the fake newspaper thing, and it's done very. The Arkham Advertiser, as in HP Light, it's done very much like that, like the way it's written and stuff. It's very cool.
And even though, yes, it is a slow burn, the pacing of it is very good.
Yes, and the music is excellent.
Here we go.
During all of our exposition scenes, there's this undercurrent, it's very good music.
Yeah, well, the music's awesome, and then the band on the soundtrack is a group called, I think, either the song's called Teenage Sun. and the band's called Wooden Indian, and they play two of their songs in the movie, and they're both bangers. Really, really catchy stuff, man. Like when they're driving in the car to town, which is the restaurant's name is Buffalo Bill. Thought that was a nice touch. We're eating dinner at Buffalo Bill's tonight. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. So yeah, that's the soundtrack, but good stuff. Shot in New York.
Yeah, and it shows.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very because like I'm born and raised here in Florida. You know, hold your applause. And it's disgustingly hot most of the time, and I've never seen snow. So watching horror films where snow plays a huge part, like for instance The Shining or this film or any of the other movies that we've
The
watched,
Thing,
The Thing, yeah, exactly. It's like I don't know that level of cold, right? So so for me to experience it is like it makes me very uncomfortable because it definitely takes me out of my my comfort zone, you know, because it's like, oh, okay, it's all snow and ice and, you know, it's frigid, you know. Speaking of frigid, there's the fact that the couple, you know, that's how they're dealing with this death of their son is, you know, he's like, there's a scene where he tries to like kind of get something going, you know, he's like massaging her shoulders and kind of
come on, it's Barbara Crampton. Yeah.
it's Barbara Crampton, right? And she's just, you know, nope, you know, and she's dealing with it just like in Don't Look Now. The one of the things that I really love about it was that it was this study of how a man and a woman in a marriage handle this death, this tragedy and this grieving process, and how she wants to keep she wants to keep the memory alive, right? Like she's got a box full of his greatest accomplishments, you know, she's got the participation trophy, and she's got she's got pictures of him all over the place, right? Whereas you get the idea that the husband just wants to start over, you know, like he's kind of drinking away his sorrows. He doesn't want to talk about it, you know. He doesn't want to open that box, right?
And I did notice that using alcohol to kind of rub everything out. And she didn't even question it. You know, again, it's the 70s, right? He's like, yep,
right, it's the 70s. Yeah, you know,
I'm gonna go ahead and drink now.
Smoking
It's like,
indoors.
okay.
You know? Yeah. I mean, he's drinking, she's drinking. Everybody in this film, it's very strange because even the couple who come to visit, not the kooky couple, but the young couple who come to visit.
First thing they do.
The first thing they do is pour a pour some drinks and drink them, and it's like, geez.
So it's funny. My girlfriend mentioned that because after the family proper comes back and the young couple is missing, she's like, so did the ghost put the booze back in place? You know, because everything was where it
turned the stereo
and
off too.
The ghost also turned off the music, so it's like a very practical ghost, you know.
So yeah, I love it, man. And you know, the son and his girlfriend, he's kind of sleazy.
Yeah,
like he's kind of sleazy. I like it. Yeah, but no, I can't say enough good stuff about it, man. I love this movie.
Well, there's also the nice, beautiful resolution of Bobby himself, which was unexpected.
Hello, Bobby.
You know, it was almost jarring in a way because it's like you've seen all this death and violence and all these horrific reveals, you know, and then, oh, it's Bobby, you know, it's like, huh. You know, I don't know. I almost mixed feelings about it, but then the more I thought about it, I was like, it's actually really nice because they survive and they get the bonus of a reward of, you know, their son. And then what's going to happen? Like what happens after the movie ends? You know, it's a really nice, unresolved sort of, what do we do now kind of ending, you know?
One of the things I do like about this movie is with the ending, I love the fact that the Dagmars don't murder them because they're grieving their son. Because when Dave shows up to the house, he's fucking pissed because he's like, it's been 2 weeks. Why are these people still in the house? And he's like, what makes them so special? And so what I think happened is because that couple got the rotten motherfuckers from the town to come to the house, and they were able to kill as many of them as they could. And Dave, I think they were like, hey, let's do these guys a solid. And they went and found Bobby, and they were like, "Hey, bro." That's my weird Lovecraft brain. That's
But then does the evil go away or is it still there?
30
That's the
years. For
big
30
question.
years. Yeah,
You
for
know.
30 years. Yeah.
So are they going to continue living in that house and feed the evil?
God that they didn't make a sequel to this.
Yeah.
Like, thank God they didn't go all Conjuring with this. They
Yeah.
didn't make
Oh
like,
no,
you know,
no.
8 sequels and there's not a killer doll living in the cellar or anything like that.
The end's so well done.
But they
It's-
could have, if they wanted to, they could have. It's got a 95% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which is very rare for a mid to late aughts movie like that. So without any real big names in it. So it's like, yeah, they really could have. And I am with you. I'm glad they didn't. It's a very standalone, very good movie. Do you guys want to go ahead and rate it?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. You want to go? Do you want to go first?
Yeah, okay, I'll go first. I'm giving it a solid 4 stars. Maybe even 4.25. It was really cool. For me, it was just what I was most impressed with was the pacing because yes, it is a slow burn, but the payoffs are in the exact right places for you to be like, okay, yep, I can keep watching this, you know. And the violence was fantastic, the gore, the effects, all of the nods to other horror IPs, you know. It's just a horror fans movie. So yeah, of course I got to give it 4 stars, and then I'll give it the little extra little nudge too, just because you know, hey, I love Barbara Crampton, I love a good ghost story, and this was a damn good ghost story. So I love probably the thing that I love the most about it is that the innocent family that was unjustly killed to feed the evil gets to get revenge, you know, and so it's also a revenge flick, you know, so. Yeah, I just loved all of the bits and pieces that made it into, like you said, it's a love letter to horror fans in a way. So
Give it a solid 4 out of 5 spiritual migraines. um, I do. I love the performances in this. I love the scenery. The gore is fantastic. Once the gore starts, it's like woo, you know. Yeah, and it is. It's a love letter to Italian haunted house movies, and I love it. Yeah, so definitely 4 out of 5 spiritual migraines.
I love you. You're so cute. I'm gonna give this one solid 4.5 glasses of B&J.
yes.
I dig this movie, man. I love it. It's got all the right tips of the hat and like all the right places, man. Like it's a lot of fun to watch because if you're like her and me, we get excited when we catch shit in horror movie and like we rewind it and we're like, ooh. So this and we do that all the time. Solid, man. The soundtrack's great. The pacing's great. The content's great. That's the thing. It has the right mix to me. It has the right mix of the right shit in it. And it's like, wow, this guy, wow, that's cool. Do it again. Wow. It's awesome, man. So, and I think I had seen enough Italian stuff to appreciate it when I saw it. That's the thing I'm most happy about. I'm glad I didn't see this like when I was a teenager, be like, burr, and then not know about it later. So, but yeah, it's a solid movie, man. Thanks, Ted.
Yeah, and not just nods to classic stuff. So like with the shadow play, that was all nods to the YouTube shorts that later became a
Oh,
movie.
shit. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
forget
lights out.
Lights Out.
Yeah.
Yes,
Lights Out.
exactly, which I absolutely
And the
love.
short. That's terrifying. Yeah, I've
Oh,
seen that,
yeah,
man. That's
dude.
fucking scary.
Scary.
It's really scary.
Lights Out is way scarier than
Than the
anything that
actual
came
movie.
out later.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Lights Out is fucking horrifying.
So the basement, I got to bring that up again as we slide into the scared shit list.
You will be scared shitless.
Which, for anyone who doesn't know, is the time on the show when we talk about what was actually scary in the movies that we discuss. And, the cliche, it was a character unto itself, absolutely applies here. That basement is so fucking creepy. It's, anybody who ever has had the creeps in the basement, that's what you think of is just that awful, earthy sort of shadows in all the wrong places, and then to have demonic entities, and ghosts as part of the shadow play. That to me was, me personally, on a personal level, the scariest thing about this movie was the basement. Basements creep me out to this day. I'm sitting in one and I've got the chills just thinking about it. So, but yeah, also the gore, on the revulsion level, the the stab in the neck was fan fucking tastic. Excellent effects, excellent practical effects. The hand through the chest, Jesus Christ. So yeah, and then overall terror, which is what we go for, right, the most when we're trying to be scared. I was very uneasy thinking about what happened to this family, what this town allowed to occur. They were in on it. And so that's like epic scale shit. That's like, in entering into Halloween 3 territory where, that's what the head guy kind of reminded me of, was Cochran. It's like he doesn't give a fuck. He's just protecting the town, and it's like, you evil bastard, fuck you.
All others pay cash. Yeah.
That's right.
But
Yeah,
so
David
scary,
McLean.
so scary. So that's mine.
Love him. So yeah, so my scared shitless moment was when she's driving away. Because I still check the backseat of my car, even if it's daytime. I do. I'll check the backseat of my car because I'm always afraid that someone's gonna be, in the backseat, right? A la urban legend. So when she notices that the demon's in the back of the car and then it just shoots right through that front seat, that's amazing. Yeah, that was amazing, and it was definitely a jump scare moment. And I like the fact that the film had a lot of like jump scare moments that were good. They didn't overuse it. It's not melodramatic. It didn't rely on the jump scares to keep your attention. It's just a great movie in general. But like, yeah, that was my scary moment. Like I don't see, the thing is, I've never been in a basement or a cellar, so I can't say that was like particularly scary. But I always check my car, so that's a thing.
For me, this is going to sound kind of weird, but as a South Jersey native who spent some time in a farm, my grandparents lived in a rural area. The cold like that is there's things about the weather that can be really terrifying. And when it gets cold like that, when I used to stand on the porch of my grandparents' house, you would hear the wind. And it's, if there's nobody in the house and you're there by yourself and like that's what you hear and stuff, that can be very, very creepy. And then you hear it when you go in the house, you still hear the wind, and I know what that feels like, and
Yeah.
it's very creepy. So like when they show up at the house and like he's stomping his feet and he's like, okay, I gotta go fire up the burner or the furnace, and he's gone for a half an hour. I know what that's like, man. I know what that's like, to heat a house up and stuff. So the cold is very terrifying to me, and how they use the visuals and the sounds of it were really well done, and it freaked me the hell out. So that's mine. Yeah.
Excellent.
The weather's its own character.
Well, Slinky, thank you so much for recommending this, and I'll be watching
Oh,
it
man.
many more times.
Oh, I love this movie. I watch it all the time,
Yeah.
man.
We should talk about the direction of the show. We should talk about a guest that I tried to get on the show. So this is new to you guys. I was hitting up Shavar Ross,
Oh
okay,
shit!
who I love. He was one of my childhood heroes. He
Of
was
course.
Arnold's best friend on Different Strokes.
Very special episode. He's Dudley.
Yes.
He's Dudley from The Bicycle Man. An episode, I will tell you, people out there, if you can find this on YouTube, it's more horrifying than any horror film you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Also, of course, Reggie the Reckless, which is the show that I was going to have him be on, because we haven't done Friday the 13th part 5. We haven't even done part 4. And I've been putting it off for a reason, because I don't like it as much as everybody else and their freaking uncle likes it. I still like it, but it's not in my top 5. So
You talking about part 4?
yeah.
Part 4, it's all right.
Yeah.
It's not the greatest.
I've been putting it off for that reason, because I know how much typically Friday fans love it. It's in their top 2, and for me, it's like 5 or 6 maybe. But I love part 5. It's actually in my top 4 or 5. So I was really looking forward to doing New Beginning, and I've been talking to him for a long time, doing like the long game with him. We're friends, but he's very busy. And I don't know if you've noticed what he's been up to for the past few years. He's very busy with AI. He creates
Whoa.
videos of him like hanging out with a sloth. He creates videos
It really is the best use of AI, to be honest with you. The
right.
best use of AI is taking Murphy the dog and making him fly a plane.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? So yeah,
So I
so
mean,
for
more power to him, but he's very
absolutely.
busy with it. He's trying to grow something, and I totally respect that. So
Yeah.
because he is so very busy
We
with
love
his
you,
AI
sweetheart.
related activities, he charges $500 per podcast appearance. Eddie
Oh.
Deason, I think, was 200. I might have paid 200 to have Shavar on the show, but I'm not budgeted to have Shavar on the show.
Yeah, we're not
Um,
budgeted for that. Sorry, buddy.
Sorry,
We love
buddy.
you though.
Yeah, I
I'm
love
gonna
you.
tell you. We
You
do.
still are one of my
We
favorite
love
childhood
you.
actors, and Reggie the Reckless will always be with us, but it won't be this year.
Yeah, damn.
So, you know
That's
what? I'll talk to Deb Voorhees. I'm sure she would love to
what?
come on the show
Because
and
she's
probably not charge
cool
us
as
a dime.
hell.
So that's in the
Our
works.
show, and then she did the comic book show.
Yeah.
So she's always down for that stuff.
That's cool. And I'd
Yeah.
love to talk to her.
Yeah.
I would
So
love to talk to
that's
her.
in the works. And then also still Dean Cameron, who doesn't check his Facebook Messenger. So, yeah, definitely working on some other guests for the show. That's kind of the direction that I'd like us to continue in because Adam and Michael were fan fucking tastic. It was such a thrill to do the show with them, and I want us to continue to maybe at least once a month have a special guest on the show. Um,
Cool, you make that happen. I'm totally cool with it.
yeah, and well, and you guys know people too, so you know.
I don't really know anybody anymore. I don't. I really don't. Well, I don't because I'm out of the convention game, and when you're out of the
Yeah.
convention game, you don't schmooze anymore. So yeah, the people I know are now. And also, people are just dying off. You know what I mean? So it sucks. I would love to get. I mean, my dream guest would be Tom Atkins.
Oh wow,
But
yeah.
he is.
And I
He
would
is.
pay $500 for Tom Atkins.
Absolutely. I would shell it out. I'd be
Sorry,
like,
Shavar.
"Hey, we'll
No
go threes,"
offense.
yeah. But would be to because he's so old now,
Yeah.
and I feel like we're gonna miss our opportunity to be able to talk to him or meet him ever. So,
My favorite thing he ever did is still Night of the Creeps. I absolutely love that movie.
thrill me.
I watched it with my dad as a kid, you know, we both just were cracking up and I was jumping in all the right places, you know, but yeah, I mean, anybody that you guys network with or have had on your shows, you know, talk to them, see if they want to come on. But I'll be doing that as well. So yeah, again, I want to have at least one special guest per month, but I want to keep doing what we've been doing, which works for us. You know, we have such a fun time and, you know, it's our dynamic has always been just talking about movies that we love that are actually scary. And I don't want to change that. So like, even when we have guests on, you know, like we did with Adam, and I was worried, are we going to find anything scary in his movies? Because he tends to lean more towards the entertaining side of things than the actually scary. But I feel like, yeah, even then we can still suss actual scares out of, you know, people's projects or just ask them straight up, what's the scariest movie you've ever seen or what movie scared you the most? So, but I think when summer gets here, we should take a break because I've got a lot of changes going on with my kids and my family and just
Summer. Yeah, that's
summer
different because
stuff.
you have kids. Yeah, summer and having kids is a totally different situation. So we get
But
it.
yeah, but not a long break, you know, just long enough to do some summer stuff and then okay, let's get back to work.
Summer
Um
stock. Yeah.
But yeah, so next show that we do now, I think I had said I wanted to do
It's your
Ghost.
turn. It's
Ghost
your
next.
turn.
Ghost is not a horror movie. But it does have a couple of the things that scared me the most out of any
The
movie
end
that
of
I've seen.
Ghost will live with me forever, bro. The end of Ghost is one of the scariest fucking things
Yeah.
I've ever seen in my life.
There's three that I can think of. There's three really big, effective scares in that movie. And the soundtrack is also the guy who did the soundtrack for my personal favorite horror movie, Wes Craven Presents They. And I love Patrick Swayze. Yeah, I'm an '80s kid, and I just absolutely love
Ew.
everything he ever did.
I love Patrick Swayze. I'm a huge Roadhouse fan, so
I saw it 5 times in the theater.
1459. You need to watch a movie called it's 11:45 or is it 14:59? I think it's 14:59. There's a movie Patrick Swayze's in. It's called I think it's 11:40. I think it's 11:45. Nope, 14:59. Yeah, but it's one of his last movies,
Yeah.
and you have to see it, man. It's one of those movies where it's like, okay, it shows you 5 different stories, but they're all intertwined, and it's just really well done. It's Patrick Swayze's in it, but it's hold on, we're gonna find it. Yeah, but her and I watched it on I think it was on YouTube or something, and yeah, we had to find it, but it's so funny. It's like a black comedy. It's a dark comedy. Hilary Swank's in it, like
Love
Colin
her.
Hanks is in it. A lot of people are in it. 11:14. But I definitely recommend this if you can find it because it's
Okay.
super good. Yeah.
So we will
But
definitely be talking about Patrick Swayze, of course.
Definitely.
Also Demi Moore, or Demi, however you want to say it, who also has
And-
done some other horror stuff, right?
and
Especially
Tony
recently.
Goldwyn. Yeah. Oh yeah, because she did Substance, which is great.
Yeah,
So like
which,
that's definitely
which
gonna
we
be
probably
one to-
should eventually do.
We will eventually do that and touch on aging and women and all of the stuff, right? Yeah.
Right.
I'm
But so
totally
that's the other thing about the direction of the show that I wanted to talk about is that we have kind of avoided mainstream horror. We've done more independent stuff, more unsung heroes of the genre. And I think we should start to do more mainstream stuff, maybe at least once a month, do a Jaws, do a Psycho, do The Exorcist, do Texas Chainsaw Massacre, stuff that
nice.
honestly
Yeah,
is
absolutely.
actually fucking scary. Poltergeist, some
Holy
more
crap.
mainstream stuff.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I mean, this is the stuff we cut our teeth on. We know it backwards and forwards. We'll have a lot to say about all of those mainstream films. I just watched Psycho the other day, and I've been on a bit of a Psycho kick. And I
Goddamn.
absolutely love every second of that movie. I didn't hate the remake. A
Yeah.
lot of people freaking hated the remake. I loved it.
Shit, I like there's shit in the remake I do like, man. The
Yeah.
soundtrack's off the fucking chain.
Yeah.
I bought the remake soundtrack. So yeah.
So we'll be doing some Psycho stuff in the future as well. Maybe we won't take a summer break. We'll see how it goes.
Armageddon Murder. I love Psycho.
Yeah.
Just don't be
no, Psycho-
surprised if we do. But yeah, a lot of great stuff coming up in the, I would say, near future for the direction of the show. But what's never going to change, for one, is our love of horror and all things scary, and and for each other. So let's do a quick movies that we haven't talked about that we really want to do on the show. Go, Erin.
7.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Absolutely. I absolutely want
Yeah,
to do
when Michael
7.
brought it up last week, Michael Felsher brought it up. I was like, why haven't we done that? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love 7. I I'm trying to opera. That's another one that I want to do, or which is also known as Terror at the Opera. It's an Argento flick. Take care. Okay, go.
I would like to do Night of the Living Dead, the original, and then I would
Yeah.
like to do Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. That's another that's not too mainstream, but I still would love to do it.
No, and we might could get him for the show too.
I've talked to him before.
Yeah, I've known him to
I
go on
talked to Nathan
podcasts.
when nobody would talk to him. So
I'd like to get the
yeah,
actress on too, because I think she's fantastic.
yeah, she's good. Shit, I had like 2 more and I lost them. But yeah, 7 would be amazing to do.
And I would just say to
Yeah,
all
yeah.
of our listeners, and we know you're out there because we do get feedback from you on the Facebook page, in the YouTube comments, email. You can email us at shitlesspodcast@gmail.com. Send us your movie ideas. Tell us the scariest movie you ever saw that we haven't talked about yet, and we'll talk about it.
Ooh.
The
Yeah, that's
only
a great
rule
idea.
is that it's got to have some scary shit in it. So yeah.
What do you think about possibly doing a commentary every so often? Like we literally just put a movie on.
Oh, like
and bullshit. Just do a fan commentary. We used to do those all the time. They were a
like
lot
we
of
did
fun.
with Shark Exorcist on your old show.
Yeah. We'd just be like, oh, if you have the so and so Blu-ray, put it on and hit play now. And we're
You
watching.
know what movie I would love to do that
Oh.
with you guys in particular is Night of the Living Dead.
I would, dude. I'm sure I'll talk about that. Yeah, yeah. I'm totally down for that. Totally. I
Yeah,
did one
because
with
I
Casey, but it was me
enjoyed
talking.
the Mystery Science Theater 3000 guy's commentary, and he was
Mhm.
lampooning it and shit, but
Yep.
I just enjoy like commentary from anybody who knows anything about the fucking movie during the movie. So,
Yeah, yeah. I have the version you're talking about, the colorized version over there. I
yep.
have it. So yeah, yeah. No, I would love to do that, man. I did one with Casey, but it was me talking for an hour and a half. He didn't say a fucking word. So, and then we did it for spookies.
Please cut that out.
Sorry. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. So yeah, down for all that. Totally down.
Oh, absolutely.
All
Absolutely.
right.
Sounds
And
good.
then another avenue that we haven't really explored a whole lot, horror video games, horror board games. I'm a board game geek. And so maybe if we just did one show on gaming, and so that would include like video games, board games, mobile games. Like there's this fantastic mobile game called Granny's House or Granny. It's so fun. It's like this freaky granny that chases you around this empty house and bashes you over the head with a club. And all the kids know what it is.
That's- oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm totally down for that.
And then, of course, books as well.
Oh yeah, books are big.
I have loved horror since I was a wee lad, and some of my favorite books that I still collect are books that were scary to me when I was a kid. And so I've got this big, thick book of all the Universal Studios monsters called Everything You Always Wanted to Know About Monsters But Were Afraid to Ask. And it's written and illustrated by Tony Tallarico, who created the first black superhero named Lobo in a comic. And he's an excellent writer and he happens to love horror. And then he also did the illustrations for my favorite childhood horror book called Haunted Planet, The Haunted Planet. And the stories in it are so freaking scary, even for an adult. I mean, they're written for a kid, but if you just can put yourself in that headspace, as a 8 to 12-year-old kid for just long enough to finish the story, and they're short stories. Scary Stories to Tell in Dark is another one. A little bit after my
Course.
time, but I know you guys grew up with that shit. The illustrations are just freaking fantastic. So yeah, let's
Bonkers.
let's
Total
also
bonkers.
do some literature, comic books, horror comics. Forget about it. Slinky, you're gonna be all over that one.
I used to have a lot of horror comics.
Yeah. So, Erin, I know you've probably read more than the both of us put together. So, I mean, I can't wait to get your input on some horror stories and horror
Absolutely. And
books.
like, I mean, you get like up to like the old Ira Levine's, like Rosemary's Baby and, just the book Stepford Wives, those types of things. And I used to read when I was in when I was in high school, I read this book series, and it had like it was different ones. Some were it was hit or miss, really. There was one called Pep Rally, and it was like once you like really it was a very gruesome book, and then when you uncovered it, it was like that there was this really disgusting like cult going on in the high school of sacrifices and popularity and all kinds of shit. Shockingly not movie or anything with all the bullshit we had going on in the early aughts as far as film was concerned. But no, I love this book. I have an entire collection of those books over in the corner. So yeah. Nope. Big fan. Big fan. So
So, highlight on horror literature and comic books, highlight on horror gaming, video games, board games, all kinds of cool stuff coming up for the listeners and for us. I mean, we're doing this for us, okay? But we love our listeners.
Yeah, yeah.
And special guests. So very excited about the future of the show. We may or may not take a summer break. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
I just read both versions of From Hell, so I could probably talk about that for a half an hour. The
The
original,
one was
the
that
From
Johnny
Hell,
Depp movie based on that?
the From Hell graphic novel. I just read both versions of the graphic novel, so
Fantastic. That'd be a
yeah,
great one for us to do too.
I could sit and talk about that for a half hour.
There's
Absolutely, I know that fucker
lobotomies
inside and out.
involved in that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I know it inside and out, so it's really good. But
Fantastic. Well,
yeah,
thank you
so
guys for another great show. Slinky, thanks again for the fantastic recommendation. Uh,
yeah, great movie, man.
Hell yeah. Until next time, stay
Absolutely.
shitless.